Nigeria has faced more coup attempts than any other countries in West Africa. Since independence in 1960, Nigeria has experienced several coup attempts, both failed coup attempts and the one that succeeded, that changed the nation direction and nation political history. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kings, where we break down African history, politics, and global news in simple terms. If it is first time of coming to my channel, please share this video, like, and comment. Let us start. The first coup in Nigeria happened in 1966, precisely January 15, 1966. That was the when first military coup in Nigeria took place. That coup was led by Major Nzeogwu. That coup killed the Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, Premier Ahmad Bello, and the others. That's including Akintola, who is the governor or premier of the Western region. General Johnson Aguiyi Ironsi was made the first military head of state of Nigeria. As that coup fell, he is the most senior rank army officer in those days, and he was selected by the Supreme Military Council to be the first Nigeria military head of state. Then there was one they called the counter coup, because the first coup was tagged as an Igbo coup. That coup changed the political landscape of Nigeria. But in July 1966, there is the counter coup, the coup that was staged by northern soldiers. They retaliated because of what happened in January 15, 1966, that killed the premier of the northern region, Ahmad Bello, and the Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, and the other top government official that died in that coup. That coup brought about Gowon emerging as the new leader. So Gowon became the second military head of state that Nigeria produced. This coup or deepened ethnic tension, leading to what we know as the Nigerian Biafran War. So that second coup that was bloody led to eventual Nigerian civil war. Then there was a third coup that organized in 1975, the 75 coup. General Murtala Muhammad overthrew Gowon while he was attending meeting abroad. Focus on that coup was on reform and the anti-corruption that was marred by Gowon administration, that Murtala Muhammad and his co-army officers who staged that coup could not be able to withstand it again. They have no choice but to overthrow Gowon regime when he was on official meeting abroad. The next coup that happened in 1976. Remember, the third coup happened in 1975, that General Murtala Muhammad, and the third one was Lieutenant Colonel Dimka. That was the third coup that happened in 1976 that killed Major General Murtala Muhammad. That coup brought about General Olusegun Obasanjo, which took over power. The first time Obasanjo ruled Nigeria, he ruled Nigeria as a military head of state. The next coup was the coup of 1983. That coup overthrew the democratically elected president of Nigeria in the name of Alhaji Usman Aliyu Shehu Shagari by Major General Muhammad Buhari and Tunde Idiabo. That marks the end of Nigerian Second Republic. Remember that the First Republic was interrupted by Major Nzeogwu led coup that ousted that administration of Tafawa Balewa and Ahmad Bello and the other leaders that are governing the nation at that time. So the coup of 1983 was the coup that stopped the Second Republic. Remember, Shagari was elected in 1979. On the second election that also brought him back in power in 1983 was marred with a lot of rigging and the other thing that happened, corruptions in high places. So the military cannot be able to condone it, and that is the reason why they overthrew that democratically elected president of Alhaji Shehu Shagari. The same thing that happened in 1966, January 15 precisely, the corruption in the country and the many other things, killings in the different part of the nation that is going on, that make the young army officers of major ranking officers stage the coup that overthrew the First Republic government of Nigeria, making it that the government is no longer in existence, that brought the army into power. So there was the coup of 1985. That coup of 1985 was the coup that staged by Major General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, the one they called IBB. Babangida Overthrow government of Major General Buhari and the Tunde Idiabo-led government. They overthrow them in a coup that is one of the bloodless coup in Nigeria. I don't think there's any gunshot on that coup. No one died. I don't think there's anybody that died on that coup. It was staged because General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida has been one of the masterminders of coups that is happening in Nigeria. So they introduced what is called structural adjustment program, and they promise to return back government to democratically elected civilians government. But in 1990, there was another coup attempt. That coup was staged by Major Gideon Orkar. That coup failed because they failed to topple the government of Badamasi Babangida, notable for, according to the most of the thing that made that coup to fail anyway, was them trying to exceed the northern states of Nigeria from Nigeria. They want to remove them from the country. That is why other military officers have to rally around. That's including General Sani Abacha, General Ikemwachuku, and the other top military officers of those days rally around the coup to make sure that the coup did not succeed. Again, the 1993 to 1999, there was power struggle, which we are going to discuss maybe in the subsequent video that we are going to make. Remember that General Babangida annulled the June 12 presidential election that was assumed to be one of the fairest elections that have ever conducted in Nigeria. Alhaji Sani Abacha seized power in 1993 in what they call palace coup, after General Babangida handed over government to Shoneko, who is the interim national government leader. They called the interim president, when General Babangida stepped aside from the government because of the too much tension and the pressure that mounted by different groups and different organizations in Nigeria, who rallied around and said, no, we do not no longer want military regime again in Nigeria, that we wanted to return back to democracy. So that was what makes Babangida to hand over to Ernest Shoneko, who is the interim president or interim national leader of Nigeria. But that government did not last. Then General Sani Abacha took over again in what they called the palace coup. That was what brought about General Sani Abacha in 1993 to become the Nigerian head of state. But his mysterious death in 1998 led to Abdulsalami Abubakar transition to democracy. So Abdulsalami Abubakar take over government when General Sani Abacha suddenly died mysteriously up to today. Nobody has told us what exactly that killed General Sani Abacha, who was the then military head of state of Nigeria. So General Abdulsalami Abubakar took over power after consultations of the top military leaders when Abacha passed on, that they appointed him the new leader, which he promised to return back government to democratically elected president in 1999. So post-1999 attempt, let's see what happened. Nigeria finally returned back to democracy under Obasanjo regime. The second time General Olusegun Obasanjo is coming back to power. This time he's now coming back to power as a civilian government. So that is the democracy that we all are enjoying today, which we also hear a story of a coup attempt and no coup attempt. Could this be another era of coup again in Nigeria? But we don't want it, because the best military government, the worst democratically elected government is better than the best military government you can talk of. Government have nothing to do with the military, or military have nothing to do with the governance. Their own is to defend the territory of the nation, not to govern, because when government is in the hand of the military, it is not always easy. There's nothing like freedom of speech. There's nothing like political association of regional or political associations and other things. They ban everything, and remember that the military always rule with decree. They don't rule with constitution and with law. So Nigeria returned to democracy in 1999 under Olusegun Obasanjo's regime. Alleged plot and rumors, but no confirmed coup since then. So in summary of all these things, Nigeria had had over 8 major coups and several failed attempts. Call to action. Which of these coups do you think changed Nigeria the most? I want to comment below. Tell us the one of the broadest coup you think all these coups that changed the whole narrative of Nigerian political landscape. And please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to educate other Nigerians about the political history of Nigeria, so that we will know where we are coming from and where we are going. For majority of people who are calling for military to come back to power, to seize power in Nigeria, for them to know the implication of military regime, the disadvantages of military regime, and the advantage of military regime, and the disadvantage of democratically elected president, and the advantage of democratically elected government. But what is playing out now in Nigeria, I think that majority youth does not want what is happening. But all we need to do is to keep speaking, keep demonstrating, keep talking to the government, making them to know that the government of the democracy is all about the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. It is not the government by those who selected themselves, that call themselves the rich. But one day, I know that through our ballot, through our voting system, we are going to get it right, so that when we put the right people who will be at the helms of affairs in Nigeria. So these are the history of Nigeria military coups, both the one that succeed and the one that does not succeed. Let us not also forget that there was also a coup attempt, which was led by Mamman Vasta, the one they alleged that it was alleged coup, that it wasn't actually took place, that just a setup, and the one also they called the phantom coup of they are claim that Olusegun Obasanjo, Yaradua, even Oladipo Diya, who was then chief of general staff under General Sani Abacha, also conducted a failed coup. So let me see you at the comment section to know what your opinion is concerning the coups in Nigeria and the counter coup. God bless you.